you repeat the question again? Sorry.
The question was that can you mention your work philosophy or what you value the most in your profession?
Okay. I don't really know how to answer the question. My work philosophy, what I believe, right?
Yeah, whether it be leading a team or making sure the customer is satisfied or making sure the software is absolutely working, what do you value the most?
Okay. I value that I focus the end result if we meet the client expectation or not. But during the process to achieve that, I focus on the teamwork more. I believe in general, I set up the standard for all the team members what I expect because that I need to have a way to measure overall status to stakeholder. So I set up some rule on top of that. But after that, I believe each individual, you can do what you want. You have your different way to do things. I don't force you to use my way, but as long as you follow certain of my standards, for example, you need to submit a report by the end of the day, and then I want the format to look like this. There are a few things I set up, and then but the teamwork, everyone need to believe each other, and then also share the experience if we find any issue, and then we will utilize that experience and ensure that problem, the mistake we have, and then to ensure this won't happen again. So it's kind of like a team collaboration, not like a hero, like we need a hero in the team. No, I'd rather like a bunch of people graduate from school, but they follow the standard and then they work with each other, and then we have a good teammates there. So it's more like a teamwork and then focus on end result and make sure we meet the client expectation, that type.
See, okay, perfect. So basically, you value the end result by promoting team collaboration and encouraging individual contribution while making sure that they comply with the SOPs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'll start with your newest experience and end at your oldest one. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so your current position is as a principal consultant at Cyber Inc. So I believe you mentioned a lot of your responsibilities here, which include client management, deadline management, and understanding the client application, researching it. And regarding testing, you mentioned that you brainstorm ideas for your team, and the automation testing is twofold. One, you either build a tool and make sure that it works, and the second one was that you invent a method or a library for the client functions, right? And then you also help the team make test cases and scenarios.
Right.
Would you like to add anything else to your responsibilities here?
Let's see. So for this project, right, I think we have done like so in this project we start this project when I work with my manager in the cyber, that is the consulting company. So we start to talk about the budget and also the team size and expectation from clients, and we set up the team size and also define the skill set we need for this team. And after that, we start to I work with my director on do the documentation for the process, how this the testing scope, like a testing process document. So that will define the purpose for this project and the expectation from client, and then what we responsible for, what we need to do, and then also the entire like how automation. We have a small section for like it kind of like a separate document, but it's part of the big like entire testing process document. That is how we define the automation, the tool we use, and also like the simple automation test cases, how we define each like a step, and then that step will be standard for all the projects. You can have exception, but That's the standard because we don't want people build our test cases very differently and then or different way to do automation, and then that will make maintenance pretty hard, and especially for the training processes that will be make everything messy. So we create a document to define our automation tool, and then how we set our testing results, how we evaluate the testing coverage, all this stuff, and then that is kind of the rule set up top of all the team, and use that as the base, and we start to develop different teams for different projects, and then so the project I directly work with, that is a customer distribution innovation. So it's a micro web service project. So Hilton is trying to build a new platform for the next generation. They will retire all the existing legacy platform and then just have one platform instead. So this one is built different like a web service, and then we do testing for that. And then during that testing cycle, I also do the coding myself, and then we have the Soft UI tool, and also we do the Groovy Script in that. And then I participate in the code, do the testing, also manage the assignment for the offshore because I'm an outside person. I talk to the team and then get a new requirement during the day, and by the end of the day, I send the requirement over to offshore team member to tell them what they need to do, what are new things, expectation, and what we need to get done before the next day stand up. So that kind of sometimes stay there with the team member to discuss with the issue as well. And so I'm kind of like doing the managing the team and as well as doing the physical work and the testing there. Also like handle the issue we have from like production. Sometimes we have production issue from or some different department because we provide our new update, new web service enhancement, and then in staging environment, and then that environment will have other departments like a global website or mobile app. They will use our microservice platform as their backend. So they will encounter some issue from their front application, or it might be the application issue or some requirement communication issue there, or database setup or different component additional setup there. So that also I need to handle. I talk to the client, and when they have issue, we talk to the build team, our build team, and discuss if our issue or that is a party issue or is the different department in Hilton that they need to update the requirement. There are a couple things I handle there as well. So also the defect management thing, we have defect farm. We have our defect life cycle, work with the building closely to get an issue resolved and retest, and then ensure the deadline, and then we get everything delivered on time, and then participate in production testing as well. And during the whole cycle, we keep improving our process. So previously, we have some testing have done in local testing because the developers, they do the unit testing, and then at the beginning they ask QA to do the unit testing in our own local machine as well. But that's not really help because they have done the unit test, and then our testing just repeat what they're doing, and then we have communicated with the build team that's not necessary. It's more important to deploy the code to QA and test staging environment earlier. So that's where we can find a real defect. It's not just the web service itself, because you guys already test that. So that is kind of like that work well. We change that process and just make it strictly direct deploy to Q environment, and we test there to avoid the additional duplicate testing there. And then they also speed up the entire testing cycle as well. We are doing Kanban process, so we have kind of like a time management to make sure each user story should be closed, within 1 day. So that's a process improvement and work with team, and also listen to the feedback from the production, other departments, and then use that to improve our process. From the team area, I also do onboarding work. So we have new people. Of course, like offshore team member, they have different way to do the onboarding. But I to create the onboarding process. For example, the onboarding process, we have the process testing process document that I maintain. So that's one of the document new joiner they need to read, and then that's where they can get started to understand how we do the project here, and then get them on board. So I kind of like support them on all this documentation, answer the question they have, or new changes we going to change in our team, how we do things if anything change. But for the on-site resource, I'm in San Francisco area, but the on-site resource, the team member, they are in Memphis. We have 2 team members right now. So anyone join to on-site during the U.S. time zone, I will be the person to work with them to explain the project and also do the, how we do automation here, and then how we expect, and then how we manage our framework. That kind of stuff I will explain and then show them how we do things here. So is that anything else you looking for?
No, these are a lot of great points, and I'll discuss these with you one by one.
Okay.
So first of all, you said that you managed a budget here, and were you directly involved with the financial aspect of the budget?
I always work with my director on that. He needs my input. So sometimes they will tell me how much money we have, or sometimes they just tell me we have the budget for 2 automation testers, or that kind of stuff they will describe. And then so my goal, my part in charge of that is not, if you're talking about like how much budget we need. Oh, let me think. I do have some conversation in my previous project in SDLC partners. That's where we don't know the budget, and then we start to do calculation on the work we will need to do, and then how much resources we need to have, and come up with the budget total we need for the new project. So that area might also work with some numbers there, but most of the time it's like tell like what we need, how many people we think we need for this project, and then how long it takes, and then how much money we might, they will do some calculation on the money part, or just report what we need, and then they will find out that on the budget side.
And what was the budget that you were dealing with here?
Sorry, you mean the size?
What was the budget that you were dealing for these projects?
For the Hilton project, this one.
Did all of the projects have different budgets?
Yeah. So like in Hilton, customer renovation is one project, distribution renovation is another project, and then they also have like a new property. They have different teams, and then so each team they have different budget for it. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And regarding team management, can you elaborate on your role in determining the team size and finding the right skill set? What process do you go through, and how do you decide which person to onboard and which person has the right skill set?
So you're looking for how many team members I manage, right? And then how I decide which team member for which project. Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So let's say from the SDLC, we have around like the entire QA practice, we have around like 50 people, and we can work on different clients, and then different sometimes different departments within the same client. And then the area I'm in charge of, I work related indirectly or directly is around like 20 to 25 resource there. And then directly report to me, there's around like 14 resource at a time. And then the 14 resource directly report to me, they don't work in the same project. they have like 8 people working in the marketing department. They have 7 people working in the customer care. They have different departments there. And then in general, when we decide the skill set, who should be the person be on board, it it depends on the need from the team. So if the customer team, they need like a few more tester, and then they require just like a manual check their some like information. Depends on the skill requirement they give us, and we will hire people according to that. Or they might have, we switch the resource. For example, in marketing, they might have some downtime, and then they don't need 8 resource. They just need 6 resource. That means we have 2 resources available at a time. So we switch those 2 resources to support the customer service. So in a way, good for client in like these people has your domain knowledge. You don't lose them while you don't need them, and then they can switch back when you need them. For you have a that kind of stuff we manage, and then so skill set wise, it depends on the client looking for, and we find the people best match the skill set and while they are available. Or we will negotiate with the for example, in previous example, they might looking for specific skill set, but the person we have right now is also has a heavy role in marketing team right now. But we will talk to the client in marketing team, say we need this person work on different projects. He will be away, but he will be back. But while he's away, he can still spend 20% of time to mentor this project. And also we have some backup person we can support to the team. So because our previous good rater, so in general we don't have issue to switch resource like this.
So it primarily depends on the client needs and the available resources.
Right.
Okay. And with respect to the onboarding process, can you talk about your responsibilities there? Are you part of the interview or the screening process? And how do you identify which hire or which candidate should you recruit?
Yeah. I've been participating in interview process in my previous SDLC and then also current the cyber as well. So so for the interview I in general did for my future team member, I focus on the team collaboration, and also they need to have at least basic like knowledge on what we are doing, and also they should have enough like experience on the tool or skills that we're looking for. But during the process, I focus on people they willing to take be active, proactive to the work, and then self-motivate, and that kind of area I focus more, because I believe like if people willing to learn, and then they have the way they motivate themselves, you don't need to worry. They will keep growing in the position as long as you give them opportunity. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I believe you mentioned that you collaborated with a 2-member offshore team, and then you also managed a 4-member resource team here in the United States. So how many teams did you lead here?
So in my current project, Hilton, we have 2 on-site resources, and include myself, so there'll be 3. And then offshore, we have around 7 resources right now for this customer renovation project.
And do you oversee all of them?
Yeah, kind of like from the project perspective, I oversee all of them. I'm the test lead for the project, and then I talk to the client and then get the requirement from them, and then I share the requirement, because offshore they don't work in the US time zone. So very often I need to make sure I acquire all the requirements, and then what expectation, and then for example, we might say, are we going to deliver the credit card feature for this release? And but there are maybe 20 use cases for that, but none of them is ready. So by the end of the day, they might have some user story ready and deploy to QA environment, and then because not all the functions ready, so they will communicate about, oh, you can do this function measure 16 digit, but the 3-digit code is not ready yet, that still in development. So what are the areas ready for testing? I need to make sure I understand all this stuff and then tell offshore team, hey, what are the things ready, what are not ready. So if you don't see this test, don't frustrate, this not defect, don't report. That kind of thing I need to make sure I communicate daily to the offshore team. And so from the project-wise, I would say because the nature of the US and also the India, so from project-wise, I'm the lead. I tell them what to do, what need to not to do. Or if issue report to me, I will evaluate is the two issue or not, and before we submit to the build team or submit a defect. And from the team management-wise, because the India team, we have the Cyber India they have their own building, they have their own management system there, so they have their lead to report for their performance review, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like partially, yeah.
I see. So basically, they report to their team lead in India, but you also oversee that if any issues are arising.
Right. So from like a project-wise, any issue, I will be the lead. Anything related to project, that will be my responsibility, and then they need to listen to me. But if it's their personal, like I will also suggest them. They go, I don't think this person is doing right, heading the right direction on testing, whatever. I will give some feedback to India team, and India they have their manager. They will do the performance, and then or communicate with the people to how they improve that. But in general, in our structure, I'm not going to give direct assignment to offshore team members. I will give overall, and then to their lead, they will distribute the work there.
I see. And from your responsibilities, it seems that your title does not clearly represent your the amount of responsibilities you have. So would you say your responsibilities are equal to maybe a quality assurance manager or maybe a automation testing manager?
I would be more comfortable to say that quality assurance manager, and automation I do, but it's part of it. Because in my previous company, they also have the specific position for automation manager.
I see.
But
okay, perfect. And with respect to team management again, did you do anything to improve your team's performance or professional development? Did you provide any trainings to them?
Yes. So as I earlier mentioned, within my team, I in general create an onboarding process, and then in 2 days, 3 days, that what you need to be done, and then what document you need to read, and then also like some project specific document. If you're working on this project, here are the documents you need to read, and then you need to understand, and then also let me think. So documents, and then also like I have one-on-one session with each individual who directly report to me. So every week I have a one-on-one set up with all the team members, and then talk about to let them get a chance to talk about their concern or where they have problem or issue or any future or potential issue within the team or individual personal issue, everything. And also I explain the goal and also share my expectation with them to make sure they are still on track about what we expect them to be. I don't want by the end of seasonal review and it just surprise them. Oh, I never tell me you don't expect me to do that, and then if you tell me I can change right away,